It's a beautiful day here in sunny Pineville, Louisiana, in what should be the final day of the 2025 Red River Athletic Conference Softball Championship. I'm Caleb Dunlop. 3 teams remain. LSU Alexandria, the number 2 seed, is taking on Texas A&M-San Antonio, the number 5 seed, in the final game in the elimination bracket. The winner goes on to face the reigning national champion and regular season champion, Our Lady of the Lake University. We'll take a look at the starting lineups first for the Jaguars. The lineup for Nicole Day and Christiana Luata will lead off playing left field. Samara Aguilar will be first baseman batting second. Ashlyn Weinert, the third baseman, hitting third. The catcher Jordan Henry in the cleanup spot. Rachel Warren playing right field, hitting fifth. Tori Campos playing second, hitting sixth. In center, it's Belicia Urdiales hitting seventh. The shortstop, Emily Palacio, hitting eighth. And the designated player, Alyssa Vicente, hitting ninth. For LSUA and Trent Partridge, a little bit of change in the lineup from what you're probably used to seeing out of the Generals. It's Jillian Howell starting over at first. Molly Sistrunks at second. The third baseman's Julia Quackernack. At shortstop, it's Haley Fontenot. Left to right across the outfield, Camille Lightfoot, Caitlin Dunbar, and Kylie Moody. Behind the plate, it's Riley Jo Terrio. And in the circle, it's Alyssa Swallow, the freshman right-hander from New Iberia, Louisiana. A 16-1 record on the season, a 3.32 ERA, and a whip of 1.62. With that, we're officially underway. Christiana Luata leading off for the Jaguars. The left-handed hitting outfielder. Count is 2-0 from Swallow. Luata hitting over 400 in conference play. Shows bunt, pulls back, and a called strike. Swallow taking to the rubber for LSUA, getting the start. Trent Partridge trying to rest Haley Primrose as best he can here, but my guess is the leash will be fairly short. Luata tries to get the bunt down, and it's fouled away. Terrio giving chase. And it'll be a 2-2 count on the Jaguars' leadoff hitter. For San Antonio in this tournament, they fell in the opening game to UHV 7-4 and went over to LSUA in the elimination bracket. Took down Southwest 6-0, then beat Texarkana 4-3, and then last night won a pitcher's duel behind Ryan Limon 2-0 over Houston Victoria. The number 5 seed Jaguars hanging around, and it's going to be a leadoff walk for Luara.
First base, number 8, Samara Aguilera.
So with nobody down, leadoff hitter aboard for San Antonio. And that brings up Aguilera, who is hitting .424 on the season. 1 home run and 43 batted in for the junior first baseman. Swallow is now fallen behind the first 2 hitters of the ball game. Here's the 1-0 from Swallow. 2-0, low and outside from the freshman. Swallow stands all of 4'11". Known to her teammates as the little one. Just off the outside corner, it's 3-0. Yeah, now Trent Partridge is coming out. And he is going to have a chit-chat with his battery here, try to get Swallow to lock in early in this game, just a little tense. And Partridge has got her turned around looking at Caitlin Dunbar out there in center. It's all smiles from the trio out there. It is a big moment for the freshman, her first conference tournament game. And towards the end of the season, we started to see her innings wane a little bit for the Generals as Trent Partridge opted to get Kirsten Martinez into the circle. Now the home plate umpire will start to meander on out towards the circle. Partridge heads off. And Riley Jo making her way back behind home plate. It has been an intense tournament thus far to get to where we are today. Teams have battled each other. They've battled Mother Nature. And the 3-0 misses ball 4. Runners on first and second now with nobody down.
Third base, number 00, Ashlyn Weinert.
That brings up Weinert hitting .258 on the year, an OBP of .375. 2 home runs and 20 batted in for the junior. Squares around a bunt, pulls back, and it's 0-1. A called strike to begin the at-bat. Weinert, a junior out of Tomball, Texas. The entire Jaguars roster hailing from Texas. Swallow misses, and it's 1-1. Two ball, 1 strike count on Weinert. That one is opposite field down the right field line, and it'll get out of play. It evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody down here in the top of the first inning. San Antonio threatening after a pair of walks. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. A big out number 1 for Swallow.
Catcher, number 7, Jordan Henry.
And it'll bring up the catcher, Jordan Henry. She's hitting .196 on the season. 1 home run and 21 batted in. Fouls off the first pitch from Swallow. And the count's 0-1. Henry's been behind the plate every game of this tournament. And as a former catcher, I can tell you that wears on you, and that's the outside corner. It's 0-2 on Henry, who had squared around and then pulled it back at the last second. .02 from Swallow, back-to-back strikeouts.
Right fielder, number 11,
2 walks, 2 strikeouts on the inning for Alyssa Swallow so far. And Rachel Warren with 2 aboard and 2 down. She's hitting .224, 1 home run and 16 batted in. Terrio having a watch malfunction, so she's going to swap it out with Jillian Howell over at first. One of those innovations to the game that hasn't quite got all the wrinkles ironed out of it yet. Everybody moving to the electronic systems to signal in pitches. Two down, 2 aboard for Warren. Fouls off the first pitch she sees. A beautiful day here in Pineville. Wind blowing out toward right field. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. So after that visit from Trent Partridge, Swallow settled in nicely here for the Generals. The 0-2, high and outside. Warren would not extend the strike zone. Campos waits on deck, the 1-2, 2-2. Swallow went back to the well on that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. And the count runs full. The payoff pitch from Swallow. She struck her out. 3 straight strikeouts to end the inning. The Jaguars leave 2 stranded. It'll be Fontenot, Moody, and Baker due up when we return. Bottom of the first, about to get underway. Defensively for the Jaguars, Aguilera is over at first, Campos at second. At third, it's Weinert, the shortstop Palacio. Left to right across the outfield, Lueda, Urdiales, and Warren behind the plate. It's Jordan Henry. And in the circle, it's Ryan Limon, 14-8 on the season with 1 save and a 2.83 ERA over 156 innings. She struck out 82. For Trent Partridge and the Generals, it's Fontenot, Moody, and Baker. That'll get us going here in the bottom of the first. Quackernack, Dunbar, Howell, Terrio, Sistrunk, and Lightfoot round out the lineup. Lamone's first pitch is inside to Fontenot. It's a ball 1-0 to open the bottom of the first. Fontenot hitting .420 on the season. The Red River Athletic Conference Player of the Year last season and an NAIA first-team All-American. A transfer from Nichols State. Here's the 1-1 from Limon. Popped up. Just off to the right of home plate. Henry makes the catch for out number 1. And I can tell you as a former catcher, that is a very tough play to make, especially when you're having to face the infield and not enough time to spin back around. And with 1 out, it'll bring up Kylie Moody. Moody's hitting .430 on the season, 2 home runs and 40 batted in. An on-base percentage of .470, and she's slugging .582. Both of her home runs on the season have come within the last couple of weeks. Limon misses outside, and it's a 1-0 count to the Generals' right fielder. Moody wearing number 60 because she can. At least that's what she told me when I asked her earlier in the season why she chose 60. On the ground, a third. Weinert drops to a knee to field it. The throw across for out number 2.
Designated player, number 38, Maddie Baker.
And with 2 down, it's Maddie Baker. Usually behind the plate for LSUA, but she is the designated player here in this one. Partridge wanting to keep her bat in the lineup, but give her at least a little bit of rest. And it's a called strike on the outside corner. Here's the 0-1. In the air, down the right field line, into foul territory. Long run. Warren's got it for out number 3. The Generals go down in order. It'll be Campos, Urdiales, Palacio due up when we return for the top of the second. Campos leads things off here in the top of the second inning for San Antonio. Squared around a bunt, pulls back, it's ball one. Campos hitting .250 on the season. She's driven in 11. An on-base percentage of .362. It's a 2-0 count as Swallow misses. 45 wins on the year for LSUA. Campos pops this one up right side. Howell calling for it, and she'll have it for out number one.
Center fielder, number 2, Urdiales.
Here's Urdiales, 205 on the year, 8 batted in. An on-base percentage of .271, swing and a miss. Urdiales hitting in the 7th spot in the Jaguars lineup. Here's the 0-1 from Swallow, squaring to bunt, pushed it over in front of the dugout. Oh, it's an 0-2 count on the Jaguars center fielder. Swallow struck out 3 straight hitters after walking the first 2. Back in the top of the first. Still an 0-2 count as Urdiales fouls off the last pitch. Palacio waits on deck. The 0-2. Another one fouled away. And another foul ball. 3 straight fouled off pitches. Urdiales continuing to battle Swallow. The 0-2 again, upstairs. Trying to get her to chase after it. Here's the 1-2. On the ground left side, Quackernack fields the throw over to Howell. Retires Urdiales, and there are 2 down here in the top of the second.
Shortstop, number 16, Emily Palacio.
Brings up Palacio. Swinging first pitch. Swallow will field her position just outside the circle for out number 3. It's Vicente, the final hitter, the 9-hole. She'll lead off the top of the third. But for LSUA, it'll be Dunbar, Howell, and Terrio due up when we return. Bottom of the second inning, it's Yulia Quackernack to lead things off for the Generals. Quackernack hitting .516, 12 home runs and 61 batted in, an on-base percentage of .568, slugging .949 for an OPS of 1.517. Red River Player of the Year. Here's the 1-0 from Limon. It's outside, 2-0. Dunbar on deck. That's a dangerous part of the Generals lineup. Here's the 2-0. Make it 3-0 on Quackernack. Quackernack spent this summer playing for the Dutch national U23 team. And the 3-0's called a strike. Quackernack thought she might have had ball 4. They won the European Championship over rival Italy on a walk-off grand slam. 3-1 spins in on the inside corner. Count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. That'll be ball 4 high. The Generals have their first base runner of the ball game. And it brings up Caitlin Dunbar, the center fielder, hitting .403 on the season, 4 home runs and 54 runs batted in, an on-base percentage of .422. And slugging .572. First pitch is over the outside corner. Quackernack on the base path, 23 for 23 in stolen bases on the season. There she goes, the 0-1, the throw from Henry escapes into center field, so it's a stolen base for Quackernack. And it'll be a 1-1 count at the plate. Alice did a nice job there, crashing hard from center to make sure that Quackernack couldn't take an extra base. Here's the 1-1 to Dunbar. Misses just outside. A 2-1 count. Skips in. Henry blocks it. 3-1. Took just 4 pitches to get through inning number 1. Should be 7 pitches. Math's a little bad there, and Dunbar's drawn the walk. So back-to-back walks.
First base, number 19, Jillian Howell.
And that'll prompt a visit prior to Jillian Howell's at-bat. Generals yesterday lost to Our Lady of the Lake 5-2. It was a 5-run third inning for the Saints that put the Generals behind. They had a couple chances late in that ball game to shorten the distance, maybe even tie it, but Ava Hernandez kept them contained. Here's Jillian Howell, hitting .373 on the season, 7 home runs and 35 batted in, an on-base percentage of .413, and she gets the bunt down. The flip over to first, covering is Campos for out number 1. It's a sacrifice bunt for Howell. And there's runners on second and third.
Catcher, number 16, Riley Terrio.
With one down, Riley Joe Terrio has an opportunity to put some runs, at least a run on the board. Terrio getting the start behind the plate. Here's the 1-0. 2-0. Misses upstairs. The 2-0 offering. Just misses 3-0. Limon rocks and delivers. It's ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Terrio. And now the bases are loaded for Molly Sistrunk.
Bases loaded for second baseman number 25, Molly Sistrunk.
Sistrunk hitting .277, 3 home runs and 18 batted in, an on-base percentage of .362, slugging .420 on the season. That one's over for a called strike, 0-1. Sistrunk had the walk-off single into left field against Louisiana Christian early this season. That gave Trent Partridge his 100th career victory. She drove in J.C. O'Connor from second for the 4-3 win. Here's the 1-1 from Limon. It's upstairs. Two and one the count. It's fouled back over the top of the press box. Limon checks the wristband now, the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got her to chase after the high stuff for out number 2.
Left fielder number 32, Camille Lightfoot.
With 2 down and the bases loaded, it's Lightfoot. Hitting .291 on the season, 6 home runs and 17 batted in. This is on a line to short on the 1 hop. Palacio goes the short way to Campos at second, and that retires the Generals. They leave the bases loaded on Lightfoot's fielder's choice. It's still 0-0 as we head to the top of the third. Top of the third, Vicente will lead off. And she's hitting .338 on the season. First pitch from Swallow is up high. That one right down the throughway. 1-1. In the air to right, Moody drifting back a couple steps over to her right, and she's got it for out number 1 here in the top of the third. And it is back to the top of the order for Cristiana Luera, the left fielder for the Jaguars. 0 for 0. She walked in her first plate appearance. And she takes ball 1. .21 stolen bases on the season for the freshman. And again, posted an average of over 400 in Red River play. 2-0, squared around, pulled back, 3-0. And that'll be ball 4. Second time Luera has drawn a free pass.
First base, number 8, Samara Aguilera.
I'll bring up Aguilera, who also drew a walk in her first plate appearance. That is the third walk of the game issued by Swallow. Against the first pitch called strike. In the air down the left field line, twisting foul as Fontenot and Lightfoot give chase. And Swallow ahead of Aguilera 0-2. In a center, Dunbar to her right. Makes the catch on the line drive, and there are 2 down. It brings up Weinert, who struck out swinging in her first at-bat. One of 3 consecutive strikeouts for Swallow in the first. Junior third baseman has appeared in all 51 games. On a line into center. Diving Dunbar, not going to get it. Rounding third. They're going to wave Luera around. No throw to the plate, and the Jaguars lead it 1-0. It's an RBI double for Weinert. And San Antonio strikes first. First pitch to Henry is outside. They'll ask for help on the swing. And Joseph Bayonne, the third base umpire, said she did go around, so it's 0-1. That check went all around the infield from the home plate umpire out to first, over to third. It's in for a called strike, 0-2. '21st RBI on the season for Weinert. The 1-2 fouled off. Home plate umpire did, okay, yeah, Weinert's going back to second. Weinert got a good jump on that pitch not being handled by Terrio, but it was off the foul. So she goes back to second. Here's the 1-2. Popped up, twisting toward the first base dugout, and it's off the top of the netting as Terrio goes crashing into the padding. The count stays 1-2. The 1-2. It's low, taken by Henry, 2-2. Henry's 0 for 1 with a strikeout on the ledger thus far. Warren on deck should this inning extend. Here's the 2-2, 3-2. And it's ball 4. The Jaguars catcher has drawn a free pass. The fourth this game issued by Swallow. And now it's Warren who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Struck out swinging to end the first. And swing and a miss there. It's 0-1. Howell playing just in front of the bag at first. Quackernack is about to step in as well. Gets the bunt down the first base line. It is placed beautifully. Swallow throws it away into right field. Home plate umpire signaling foul. And everybody's going to have to go back.
How do you rule a foul ball standing in between?
And the count will be 0-2 on Warren. Oh, 2's up high, 1-2. So the Generals might have gotten a gift there. Alyssa Swallow came over as that ball was turning foul and shielded the home plate umpire as it's fouled away. Here's the 1-2. Another one fouled away. And this will be pitch number 6 of the at-bat. That was a beautiful bunt by Warren. We've seen a couple nice ones in this tournament. And Weinert's caught off second. She's able to scamper back. And the count's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 aboard. There's 2s everywhere here. The double deuce from Swallow. Count runs full. And time called as Riley Joe's going to go out and have a chat with her battery mate. The pitch count really running up for Alyssa Swallow early in this game. And it's just a chat to try to settle the freshman down. And now a conversation at home plate. Count full on Warren. The 3-2. It's up high, ball 4, bases loaded. It's the 5th walk Swallow has issued in 2 2/3 innings. And it brings up Campos, who's 0 for 1. She popped up to Jillian Howell over at first to start the 2nd inning. Sistrunk playing back on the edge of the outfield. Howell pulled in just in front of the bag, as is Quackernack. Over for a called strike, and Sistrunk shading more towards first. So there is a large hole from where Sistrunk is standing over to the second base bag. Catches the outside corner. 1-2 the count on Campos. Swallow goes to the rosin bag. The 1-2. On the ground, left side, that's going to sneak through. 1 run is going to score. It's 2-0 San Antonio. A good piece of 2-out hitting from Campos gets her the RBI.
Center fielder, number 2, Felicia Urdiales.
Here's Urdiales, 0 for 1 thus far, grounded out to third. Swinging first pitch, fouled it off. Off the netting, it almost hit Palacio in the on-deck circle. A seeing eye single for Campos drives in the 2nd run of the inning. It's 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. One-two's hit into center. Dunbar coming on and almost overran it, but makes the grab for out number 3. But San Antonio does score 2 runs. They lead it 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Fontenot leads off for Alexandria, and the Generals trail 2-0. Fontenot is 0 for 1. She fouled out to Henry in the bottom of the 1st. And Lamone starts her off with a strike. It's 0-1. Misses just outside. Counts even. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one's going to get out of play, might find its way onto the highway. It'll be a 1-2 count on Fontenot. Here's the 1-2 now. No time called. Fontenot will step out. Just trying to throw Ryan Lamone's rhythm off a little bit. Here's the 1-2. Evens up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. The double deuce from Limone outside. Counts full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Just inside. Limone wanted that one. Instead, it's ball 4. Fontenot's got a leadoff walk. And time called as Jordan Henry's going to go out and chat with Limone. And Limone really not happy with that last call. Weinert's coming over to help settle her down. Palacios in on it now. Here comes Campos and Aguilera. After a 2-run top of the third, San Antonio leading 2-0. Kylie Moody will stand in her second at bat. She's 0 for 1, grounded out to Weinert at third. Limone misses outside. I forgot how much fun it is to keep a paper book when doing play-by-play. And that one misses off the inside corner, 2-0. Book I'm using goes back to my days at Central Washington. "2-0 is upstairs. It's 3-0. Fontenot thought about it as Limone dropped the throw back, but Palacios standing right on the bag. And Fontenot has had a habit of trying to take an extra base when defenses snooze a little bit. And that misses inside. It's ball 4, back-to-back free passes. Out of the 4-pitch variety there. Runners on first and second, and Gutierrez is going to head into the bullpen for San Antonio.
Maddie Baker.
They'll bring up Maddie Baker with 2 aboard and nobody out. Baker fouled out to Warren to end the first. Limone winds and delivers the 0-1. It's well upstairs, 1-1. On the ground through the left side. Partridge is going to hold Fontenot, and Baker has the Generals' first hit of the ball game.
Bases loaded for third base. Number 18, Yulia Quackernack.
Quackernack drew a walk and then stole second. Limone misses inside. Just not getting that pitch. Third or fourth time she's thrown it this inning to no avail. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Quackernack second in the conference in average behind Madison Dingman. who had an absurd season. And that one's pop foul over the press box. Dingman hitting in the middle 500s. 1-2 the count on Quackernack. Chase is high and away. A big first out. Double play back in order now to end the inning. It'll bring up Dunbar, who also drew a walk in her first plate appearance, and that one's over the inside corner for a strike. Weiner to step or two in front of the bag at third as Dunbar fouls that one off. It's 0-2. Aguilera is in front of the bag at first. Campos and Palacio playing fairly normal depth. Here's the 0-2. Got her looking, strike three. Back-to-back strikeouts for Limon. It's the first backwards K of the day.
First base, number 19,
And here's Jillian Howell, who had a sacrifice bunt in the second inning. In for a called strike, 0-1. 5 straight strikes from Limon. High and deep and foul. Nothing but a long strike, 0-2. Limon 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning without any damage done. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3 straight strikeouts for Limon. The Generals leave the bases loaded. It's 2-0 San Antonio as we head to the top of the fourth. Top of the fourth inning, Emily Palacio, the shortstop, will lead things off. She's 0 for 1. Popped out to end the second inning. Back to Alyssa Swallow. Alyssa Vicente is on deck, and then it's back to the top of the order for Luata. And it's the first pitch ball. So we open the inning at 1-0. Palacio fouls that one off the netting. It's 1-1 the count. I was out on the field early this morning as the Jaguars were loosening up as Swallow misses there. And gotta say, the vibes were immaculate in the Jaguars dugout. Feeling good, playing better here in the RRAC tournament. This is to left field. Lightfoot shielding her eyes from the sun, and she'll make the catch for out number 1.
Designated player number 15, Alyssa
And it brings up Vicente, who is 0 for 1. Flew out to right to lead off the top of the third. Squares, pulls back. It's 0-1, a called strike. Jaguars entered the tournament as the number 5 seed. That one skips in. It's 1-1. Called strike. So it's 1-2 the count. On the ground is short. Fontenot fields over to first. Howell has to dip down. But it's a 6-3 ground out if you're scoring along at home. And there are 2 outs in the inning as it's back to the top of the lineup for San Antonio. It's over the outside corner, 0-1. Luata has drawn a pair of walks in this one. She walked and scored in the third. First run of the game for the Jaguars came around on the RBI double from Weiner. Count evens up at 1-1 as the flip change misses. Swallow looks in. Now the 1-1. Bunted down the third base line, and Terrio will let it go foul. So the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Long look at the watch here from Swallow. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2. And rings her up looking on the outside corner for out number 3. Swallow gets them 1, 2, 3 in order. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th when we return. Bottom of the 4th inning, Riley Joe Terrio leading off for LSUA. Terrio drew a walk in the 2nd inning and then was the 3rd out on the fielder's choice from Lightfoot. Lamone starts her off with a ball. It's 1-0 for the Generals catcher. Trent Partridge is now off the third base coaching duties as this is on the ground. Weinert dives, can't get it. Palacio, the throw, not in time. Almost had a routine 5-6-3 ground out, but Terrio has the infield single instead.
Second base, number 25, Molly Sistrom.
Time call has got some equipment. Oh, it's shoe tying behind home plate for Henry. Brandon Hagan is taken over in the third base coach's box for Trent Partridge. And it brings up Molly Sistrunk, who's 0 for 1. She struck out swinging in inning number 2. On the ground, chop foul off the netting in front of the Generals dugout. Here's the 0-1. Up high, 1-1. Just the second hit of the game for the Generals was Terrio's single. Just misses. 2-1. Here's the 2-1 offering. Fouled away. Evens it up at 2-2. The double deuce from Limon. Terrio going. The throw is going to get into center field. It'll be a stolen base for Riley Joe Terrio, and the count's going to be full at the plate. Neither Palacio nor Campos broke to cover the bag until way late. But again, Erdy Ellis, a nice job of covering up. Here's the 3-2. That one hits her. Time is called. And I thought the umpire was signaling that she was going to have to come back. But no, she'll walk on down to first with a hit-by pitch. And now Trent Partridge going to go out and check on his second baseman. That one got her right on the elbow, it looked like. Might have caught the funny bone. There'll be runners on first and second. And the Generals will have a runner. It'll be Cassidy Tucker coming on to run.
Pitch running at first base for Molly Sistrom is number 8, Cassidy Tucker.
So the Generals opting for a bit more speed over at first. And now a visit to the circle for the Jaguars. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Runners on first and second. It'll be Camille Lightfoot. Gutierrez was throwing for San Antonio the last inning. I can't quite see the bullpen down there. Terrio's on second. Tucker is on first.
Now batting.
And it's Camille Lightfoot, who is 0 for 1. She reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Squares around a bunt, gets it down. Weiner, the throw. It is not going to be caught by Campos. Around comes Terrio. It'll be an error on Campos and a sacrifice bunt for Lightfoot. It's 2-1. No RBI for Lightfoot. But there's runners on the corners as Tucker goes to third. And now Lightfoot will scamper into second. Top of the order for Fontenot. Corners pulled in now. It's 2-0 on Fontenot. Lamone winds and delivers 3-0.
Now batting shortstop number 17, Haley Fontenot.
3-1, a get me over pitch is there. Ducks on the pond for Fontenot. Fouls it away, 3-2. That one was probably in the upper echelon in the strike zone, if not ball four, but that pitch looks so good coming at you up high. 3-2 the count on Fontenot. Lamone in the air to center. That's going to fall in front of Urdiales. Tucker's going to score. It's a brand new ball game. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. Moody squares to bunt. Pulls back. Fontenot's up to second. Popped up. It'll get back and out of play over the press box. 1-1 the count on Moody, who is 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. Catches the inside corner, 1-2. Hammered down the left field line and foul. She turned on it. Reset and try the 1-2 one more time. In the air, struck well, left field. Going back, the track, the wall, it's out of here. 3-run home run for Kylie Moody. Generals lead it 5-2 on one swing of the bat. Third home run of the season for Moody.
That home run was by right fielder number 60, Kylie Moody. Now batting designated player number 38, Maddie Baker.
0-1 the count on Baker. Up and away. Counts even at 1-1. The Generals with a breakthrough inning here. They've played at 5. Still nobody out. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Limon trying to settle back in. The 1-2 to Baker. On the ground, down the third baseline, and foul. Tried to get her to chase away. Baker held off. It's still 2-2. Three and two. Popped up on the infield. Limon to her left has it. And that'll be out number 1 here in the bottom of the 4th.
Third base, number 18, Yulia Quackernack.
Brings up Quackernack, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a stolen base. She walked in the second and then swiped second. That one's in and out of the glove of Henry for a ball, 1-0. Limon winds and delivers. Call the strike over the inner half. 1-1. Just like that in this inning, Big Mo has swung to the Generals' dugout. Quackernack hammers this into center. Urdiales going back. It's out of here. Second home run of the inning for the Generals. Quackernack to straightaway center field. Generals lead it 6-2. There's some stirring over in the San Antonio dugout.
Center fielder, number 15, Caitlin Dunbar.
But nobody's coming out, so Dunbar will stand in. Outside corner, 0-1. In the air down the right field line, giving chase. Campos in foul territory. She'll make the grab. Two away now.
First base, number 19, Jillian Howell.
It brings up Jillian Howell, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a sacrifice bunt. Swinging first pitch on the ground, back-to-back plays for Campos. She fires on over to Aguilera, and that will end the inning. The Generals strike for 6 runs on 4 hits, a pair of those home runs from Kylie Moody and Yulia Quackernack. It's 6-2 as we head to the top of the 5th here in Pineville. Top of the fifth inning, Aguilera will lead off for San Antonio, and Molly Sistrunk has re-entered the game at second. The Generals back to their original defensive alignment. And Swallow back out there in the circle. One and 0 the count. On Aguilera, and she's got herself a single up the middle. Leadoff hitter aboard. Second time she's been on base. She drew a walk back in the first, and now there's going to be a pinch runner over at first.
Pinch running for the Jags at first base, number 1, Karina Perez.
Perez is going to come on and run,
Now batting third base.
as the Jaguars will dip into their reserves. Get a little more speed on the base path. And it brings up Ashlyn Weiner, who is 1 for 2 with an RBI double in the third, and then she came around and scored later in the inning. She struck out back in the top of the first, takes that pitch as it's up high, 1-0. Howell pulled in front of the bag at first. Quackernack even-ish with it, as that one's inside. Fontenot playing normal depth, and Sistrunk slightly shading over towards first. It'll be 3-0 on Weiner. Barlow has come out on deck for San Antonio. And the 3-0 is called a strike, 3-1. In the air, right side, Sistrunk to her left for out number 1. So it will be a pinch hitter here for Henry.
Ladies and gentlemen, pinch hitting for Jordan Henry is number 5, Kaylee Barlow.
Kaylee Barlow will stand in, the left-handed hitter. First pitch to Barlow down the third base line, over the glove of a diving Quackernack. Perez is going to hold it second. And the Jaguars have 2 aboard here.
Right fielder,
And it brings up Rachel Warren. 1 down, 2 aboard. Warren is 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk on the ledger, and she swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Second at bat that she has gone after the first pitch. Here's the 0-1 from Swallow. Squaring and pulling back, but it's called a strike nonetheless. 0-2 on Warren. The 0-2, high and outside. Wind has shifted direction slightly, now blowing out towards center, a little bit toward left center. 1-2 the count on Warren. fouls it away. Pair of singles on the inning so far for San Antonio. Evens it up at 2-2. Double deuce is high. Count runs full on Warren. Here's the payoff pitch. Fouled past Nicole Dame in the third base coach's box. So we'll reset and try it again. As Lightfoot and Fontenot go and track it down. Payoff pitch coming once again here from Swallow. Another one foul. Oh, look out. Richard Partridge dancing out of the way. Got to stay ready over there. Still 3-2 on Warren. Takes that one, looking for strike three. Out number 2 here in the top of the 5th.
Second base, number
And it brings up
15,
Torrey Campos, the second baseman. 1 for 2 on the ledger thus far. A pop out and an RBI single in the third. Chance to possibly drive in another here. Count is 2-0. The Jaguars' second baseman. In the air to center, right at Dunbar. She has the line drive for out number 3. The Jaguars leave a pair stranded. It's still 6-2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th inning. Haley McDonald has come in behind the plate, and Morgan Gutierrez has taken over in the circle. Riley Joe Terrio leading off. And it's a 1-0 count.
Leading off for the Generals, catcher number 16, Riley Terrio.
Terrio down the third base line. Foul, says the home plate umpire. Weinert with a good throw on the run. We'll reset and try it again. It's a 1-1 count. Well, the book on Limon is closed. 4 innings, 6 runs, 5 earned, 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, 5 walks. Ontario 1 for 1 on the afternoon. Singled and scored in the fourth along with a stolen base. Part of the 6-run fourth inning for the Generals. And it's 3-1. Gutierrez falls behind the first hitter she faces. Three-one offering, a comebacker into center field. Second hit of the game for Terrio. Sent that one back from whence it came. And it brings up Molly Sistrunk, who's 0 for 1. She was hit by a pitch in the fourth. Cassidy Tucker came on to run for her and came around to score. Sistrunk gets the bunt down. Weinert over to Campos for out number 1. Up to second goes Terrio. And it brings up Camille Lightfoot, the number 9 hitter in the lineup for Trent Partridge in LSUA. She's 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice and reached on a throwing error and a drop throw over at second, and she laces a single into left field. Terrio's going to have to go station to station, so it's runners on the corners. Conversation now between Brandon Hagan and the home plate umpire. Back to the top of the order for the Generals. It's Haley Fontenot. Fontenot had an RBI single and then came around to score last inning. She's 1 for 2. There goes Lightfoot, and she's into second. Runners on second and third now. Fontenot can blow this game wide open here. Gutierrez finds the bottom of the strike zone, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. On the ground, through the left side. Terrio's going to come around and score. Lightfoot's held at third. It's 7-2 LSUA. Brings up Kylie Moody, who had a 3-run home run in the fourth. There goes Fontenot. It's 1-0 to Moody. Two-one offering. A chopper to short. The throw from Palacio retires Moody. And they're 2 down, but Lightfoot comes around to score. Fourth RBI of the game for Kylie Moody, having a heck of a tournament. Brings up Baker, who is 1 for 3, singled in the third. It's an 8-2 ball game. Just misses. Here's the offering from Gutierrez. It's a 3-0 count on Baker. And it's a 4-pitch walk. Runners on the corners with 2 down for Yulia Quackernack. And the infield going to have a chit-chat in the circle. Quackernack 1 for 2 with a solo home run. Hit it out to near dead center, just to the right of the LC logo. It was the second home run of the 4th inning for the Generals. And their offense has turned a corner here the last 2 innings.
Now batting, third base, number 18, Yulia Quackernack.
First pitch to Quackernack, runner going. Here's the throw. Baker's going to be in with a stolen base. Fontenot comes home from third, 9-2 LSUA. One 0 to Quackernack. She fouls it off the netting. Oh, and 2 the count on Quackernack. And it's 1-2. The 1-2 on the ground right side. Campos dives from her knees. The throw over to first retires Quackernack for out number 3. But the Generals do push across 3 runs on 3 hits. It's 9-2 as we head to the top of the 6th. LSUA leading. Top of the 6th inning, Alice will lead things off for San Antonio, and she takes the ball. Alice is 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out in the ball game so far. And this is down the first baseline and fair. It hopped over the bag. She's got a single, thought about going to 2. And she'll have to hold and scamper back to the bag at first. It's a leadoff single.
Shortstop, number 16, Emily Palacio.
Took a wide turn there. Got about a third of the way. Swinging first pitch is Palacio. And it'll fall harmlessly to the ground for a strike as Terrio couldn't make the play. Looks like she might have tripped over the bat a little bit there. Here's the 0-1. Misses down. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. The Jaguars shortstop. Swallow wants a different ball. That one getting rolled into the dugout. It's going to be retired from service. Here's the 1-1. Catches the corner 1 and 2. Right side in the air to Sistrunk. That'll be out number 1. Brings up the 9-hitter Alyssa Vicente, who is 0 for 2 so far, with a fly out and a ground out on the ledger. We'll have the winner of this game and Our Lady of the Lake University up next in the RRAC Championship Final. Vicente gets the bunt down. Here's the throw from Quackernack, and they do retire her. Two away and up to second goes Alice. And it's back to the top of the order for Cristiana Luera, who has drawn a pair of walks and struck out looking so far. One-0 misses just off the corner. 2 balls, no strikes. Freshman on freshman battle here. A 2-0 from Swallow laid in for a strike. Two down here in the top of the 6th. The 2-1. Outside corner. Terrio thought about a snap throw. Nobody covering. Fontenot scampers over to the bag at third. So a 2-2 count. On the ground. Foul. That was laced opposite field. We'll have to come back and try it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner on second. And the runner on second is number 2. 2's everywhere. The deuce is wild offering from Swallow. Flip change. 3-2. Oh. Count runs full. A 3-2. Hit it a shallow left. Fontenot, it's going to stay on the infield. Fontenot will make the grab. And that will end the inning. The Jaguars leave one stranded. LSUA leading 9-2 as we head to the bottom of the sixth. So in the bottom of the sixth inning, Caitlin Dunbar will lead off, and she will be the first to face Caitlin Martin, who has taken over in the circle. First pitch is outside. Dunbar 0 for 2, a strikeout, a fly out, and she's drawn a walk. Here's the 2-0. Catches the outside corner, 2-1. In the air, foul, and it'll one hop. Didn't hit any vehicles. It's 2-2. Somebody's car got thumped pretty good last night. It was an on-the-fly foul ball. Here's the 2-2. Skipped in, blocked by McDonald, 3-2. Howell waits on deck. Terrio is in the hole. Here's the 3-2 payoff pitch from Martin. Missed just off the black, ball 4.
First base, number 19, Jillian Howell.
Howell 0 for 2, a strikeout, a ground out, and a sacrifice bunt. This is in the air to right, down the line, moving into foul territory. Campos giving chase, and she will make the grab for out number 1. Long way to run there for her. That is the second foul out that Campos has caught. Here's Riley Jo Terrio, 2 hits in her last 2 at-bats. Dunbar going, and she's in at second with a stolen base. Want to know the count on Terrio. Summer Brumley has come out on deck. Here's the 2-0 to Terrio. Up high, 3-0. And McDonald's going to go out. Have a chat with Martin. Three-0 count on Terrio. Dunbar at second. Represents the walk-off run. The Generals would trigger the run rule. Here's the 3-0. Down the causeway for a strike, 3-1. Three ball, one strike offering. It's ball four. Terrio works a walk. Her second of the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, pinch hitting for Molly Sistrom is number 44, Summer.
And
Brumley.
Summer Brumley's going to pinch hit with 1 out and 2 aboard in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brumley, a left-handed hitter. Here's the first pitch from Martin. It's called a strike on the outside corner. On a line and foul. 0-2 on Brumley. Martin gets the call and the 0-2. It's 1-2 as it misses down. It's Dunbar on second, Terrio on first. Here's the 1-2. Bounced in, 2-2. The double deuce, up high, counts full, 3-2. Brumley went from down 0-2 to a full count. And that's ball four. Brumley draws the walk to load the bases. And Trent Partridge is going to make another change. Madison Nelson is going to run it first.
Pitch running at first base for Brumley is number 2, Madison Nelson. Now batting, left fielder, number 32, Camille Lightfoot.
And my guess is that Nelson will stay in the game defensively in the top of the 7th. Base is loaded and 1 out for Camille Lightfoot. First pitch is low. One 0 to Lightfoot. Outside, 2-0. Dunbar at third, Terrio at second, Nelson at first. Here's the 2-0 from Martin, 3-0. No, 2-1, excuse me. Now it's 3-1. Martin, long look into the dugout to get the sign. Here's the 3-1 offering. It's upstairs, ball 4. And that's the ball game, 10-2. LSUA triggers the run rule, and they will face Our Lady of the Lake University in the championship final.